Hi, just a little bit about myself. In the fall of 2024, I felt that God was calling me back into my home. At that time, I was working full time, and it was a good job. The people were nice. The supervisors were fantastic, but I just didn't feel like it was where God wanted me, and and it took a while. I had worked that job for years, but I knew it wasn't where I should be. And Proverbs 31 was just really, I don't know, laying on my heart, I guess. And I just felt like I should be putting my energies back into our house, in our home. Um, I, I was happiest when I was making food, um, cleaning house, these little mundane tasks, um, and to be honest, I had a job that I ran around and did a bunch of actually I had a sit down job where I didn't run around at all, and it you know sitting in front of a computer screen all day, I believe that sitting promotes sitting. So I would sit all day. I would come home. I would make supper. I would do up the kitchen dishes, and then I would sit. So I was never like that in the past. When I was first out of high school, I actually got married. I had jobs, but they were like retail. They were restaurant. They were on my feet, um, and then I guess I would say that uh, after that I got busy, getting married, having children. Um, I was always running around, and then I went back to college later as a returning adult, and that's when the sitting started. And I got these jobs that they were career focused, and that wasn't where I wanted my focus. And it took me a lot of years to figure that out. I was in, I was chasing the dream, I guess I would say, and I it took me until the fall of 2024 that to realize that that wasn't my dream, and but it was going to take a long time. We actually went to Europe um, in the in 2025. So it was the end of 2024, the beginning of 2025, and my goal was to step out of my job in May. So we got back in February, and I was working my full-time job, didn't feel like that's where I should be, and decided that I was going to step out in May. The day in May that I was going to step out, um, the guy that did the exact same job that I did, he put in his 2 week notice. So if I would have quit at that exact moment, I would have really hurt our department. And I couldn't do that to them. And I took it as a sign from God that that was not the right time to step out. So I stuck with it and I stayed there. Um, and it wasn't until August that I actually, because every time that I would want to, because then I had to train the new girl that came in after this guy quit, and that kept me there. And then after I felt that she was trained, then I could step out. So it was in August, and it was so wonderful because I stepped out as soon as I rolled over into my 5 year anniversary. And because I stayed just those couple extra months, I got paid out for the entire next year's vacation. So it was like $1,600 extra dollars, just like, here you go. And it was a huge blessing to me. So I just I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background. From there, oh my goodness, God exploded my life, and it was just incredible. That spring of 2025, I was seeking my purpose. I'm like, and before that even started, I was asking God to help me get rid of like sin out of my life, like all sin. I've been a Christian since I was 19, whew, 93, so it's been a long time. and um, and I, but you do, you gossip, and then it's like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have did that, and you're not always conscious of everything you're saying, and it's like, oh, why did I say that? And you just, or you let these little sins enter your life, and you're like, why did, later you're like, oh my goodness, I gotta stop that or whatever. But it wasn't until I got serious and I just said, please help me to get rid of all sin in my life. I want to allow Jesus into absolutely every single area of my life. And one of the things that he hit me with right off the bat was uh, having, imagining him right next to me um, all day, all day long, from morning until night, opening my eyes till closing my eyes at night. And at first I was just like, I can't say anything, because everything that I say, um, is negative, or it's complaining, or it was about somebody else. Um, and I went, that was a time, I had to learn to shut my mouth. And that was revelating, I guess I would say. But what I learned from it is that there is a lot that you can say, that God gives you new things to say, that are not complaining, they're actually praising, and they're not negative, they're positive. And you're not talking about people, you're encouraging people. So I guess that's one of the big things that I learned, and that was one of the very first, is that to get a hold of your words, and that we will give an account for ourselves for our words. And so that had to change, and it did. And you know I used to have little groups of people. I could say this with this group and this with that group, and that's all gone. Now I say what I say, and it doesn't matter who is here or who hears me, and that's a blessing from God. And I hope that you also, if you cross this channel and you care to take a look into this, you know, getting a hold of your words. God is so good, and He will be with you. And if you need help in that, just imagine Him sitting right there next to you. He's having breakfast with you. He's on the phone call to your friend with you. He's in the car while you're driving and somebody cuts you off. So have fun with that one. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. My name is Carol Strew, and I am so excited that maybe you stop by. And I pray that you have a great day. Okay. Bye.